Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think is the world's greatest issue? Well, I think that the world's greatest issue is the belief of Santa. Number one, Santa is the worst role model I can ever think of. When you look at Santa, you probably look at the generous, present-giving Santa. Well, I don't look that way. I look at the perverted, obese, and the criminal Santa. Well, number one, he's perverted because one day an 11-year-old went downstairs to see Santa kissing his mother. Well, that is a very bad thing because he saw that, he thought that for the rest of his life, he thought that Santa Claus is this person who visits your home and gives presents in return for a kiss. So, and also, you all know the song, "He knows when you're awake, he knows when you're sleeping." That is wrong, because he must have cameras in your room to know that. Therefore, there is no privacy. He is also extremely obese. Because he is obese, it makes people think that being obese is okay. Actually, this is wrong, because if you are too obese, then you will actually only live to a certain age. Also, people see Santa being really, really obese, and he never dies. So they would think that you can be extremely obese before you die. Okay, also, Santa Claus has this big problem with his brain. And if he eats something, he wants to eat it more. This brings me to how he's a criminal. Santa Claus is a criminal because if you think about it, why can't he just knock on the door instead of going down in the chimney, right? So, also, he goes down and gives these presents made by elves and goes and gives it and gets cookies and milk and sometimes beer. Also, like Santa Claus, if that happens, then he's also teaching these kids not good values. Also, okay, now that brings me to my second point. That Santa Claus is forcing poor parents to buy presents. Santa Claus is forcing parents to go to shops and buy expensive presents because parents think that Santa Claus is a good role model which can teach their kids to give and do things like that. But I already discussed why he is a bad role model. So, actually, they're just giving presents. And when they stop believing in Santa when they're about 13 and 15, the good things stop happening. So, ladies and gentlemen, because of these reasons, Santa Claus should be banned.
Great, that was a really funny topic, and I really enjoyed that. One thing that you can work on is that when you speak, sometimes you kind of go back and forth, like, it's a little bit distracting. I don't know if you noticed that. Does that make sense? Yeah. When you're speaking, it's good to speak from a strong stance, and then making sure that the movements that you use are used to strengthen your point rather than distract from what you're saying. That's one thing that you can work on. Another thing I really liked was your delivery was fantastic. You spoke directly to the audience and very infrequently looked at your paper, and that's a really good way of appearing more convincing and like you know your material. And one thing that you could also work on are your connections. You use the word also frequently, as well as so, and sometimes that can be a little bit repetitive, and so sometimes what you can try to do is just waiting, like not saying anything, or using different words when you're trying to sort of build the next sentence in your mind. But that was great. It was really funny. I enjoyed it.